Hello and welcome to Next Week News Podcast, episode 35. You froze. Are you okay?
I wanted to see what would happen if I said nothing.
Freaked me out.
Because I do cut off the beginning before we actually get started, just to see how you'd react.
I thought you were waiting for something.
I like that, though.
I got scared.
No, I've been considering doing my intro in like a new fun voice. I haven't actually tried it. Oh, your voice? I was thinking I'd do when I go through my spiel at the beginning, I'd do a whole new voice. Let's try it out. There's a new YouTube channel at Next Week Cast. That's where these. I jumped out of the voice. You don't like it? Okay, I'll do it in my regular voice.
You should have brought it to the focus groups first.
I should have.
AKA me. Before we went on air, I would have said no.
All right. Well, the big news for our podcast listeners or watchers, I guess, is that there's a new YouTube channel that these are on at Next Week Cast. Through me meaning to do it for a while and someone commenting that I should put them on a separate channel, I've decided to go for it.
All in.
Because I was posting it was 3 or 4 times a day on the main YouTube channel, and that's too much.
That's too much.
So now they each live on their own channel, the regular news videos and the podcast videos and clips.
Next Week Cast just reminds me of like a arm or foot cast when you get injured. Next Week News themed. Next Week
Next
Cast.
Week Podcast was taken.
Really?
Yeah, I probably would have made it that. Shout out to at Next Week Podcast. I haven't actually gone to their channel. I'm sure they're good.
Nah, we should downvote them, get them kicked off. So
I don't think there's an actual other Next Week podcast though.
Huh.
That does. I mean, I do think I have confidence that we're the only people who do exactly this, so I don't think we're in danger of copying other people. But I don't know. Sorry. I haven't actually seen them.
I interrupted your spiel. Continue.
Anyway, we'll be on here. You can
do the fun voice if you want.
I don't want to do the fun voice anymore. Anyway, we'll be on here for an hour as always, and we'll also be on Patreon for an extra half hour. And we also have a Discord that you should join if you're not in it yet. And also, Next Week News YouTube videos come out on the Next Week News main channel Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central, and Next Week News daily videos, the shorter clips, come out every evening on TikTok and Instagram at Next Week News. And everything, if you don't want to go searching, can be linked, or you can find it at nextweeknews.com. And our Patreon theme for this week is a fun one. We wrote some stuff for it, which will be a lot of fun. But we each made up some book titles and descriptions for the other to see if they'd be interested in reading it. And we're also going to guess what the Goodreads ratings and reviews would look like for the books.
Goodreads ratings and reviews are very dear to my heart. That's very important to me.
If you're not familiar, it's just like a 1 to 5 star rating, and you can add some fun text to it. Pretty standard review system. Yeah. But that's what we'll be doing on Patreon. Did you send me any tweets? I actually forgot to look.
I did.
I'll let you read them.
Let me pull it up.
I did not have any tweets for this week. I can tell you that.
Unprofessional of you. Oh my
I'm aware.
Oh my god.
I was so busy. I'm actually really psyched about this Patreon.
I got 3. I sent you 3.
I wasn't looking. I was too busy writing my book things.
Yeah. So the first one is about Spirit Halloween turning into Spirit Christmas at select locations after the Halloween season.
Oh, is that for real?
Yeah.
Whoa.
According to Pop Base and other stuff, it will have Christmas decor, apparel, gifts, inflatables, stocking stuffers, meet and greets with Santa. So Spirit Christmas. And people were like, why not Holiday Spirit? But I think that's I don't know. And news involving Spirit Halloween is always funny to me. So I feel like that's something you could have reported on.
What a unique thing. Halloween. Yeah. I mean, that's the next week newsable topic. If that wasn't real, it could be Next Week News.
What took them so long, honestly, to come up with this idea? Why not just Halloween? Let's also do other holidays around the time. You got the space.
So funny that they just take the storefront for 2 months and then leave it.
Yeah. They haunt it for 2 months and then leave. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of them. And then the next.
I wonder if they're going to try to be permanent eventually. Probably not.
I was thinking that. I was like, they've got holidays all year long, but that's Party City. So
yeah,
I don't know. The next one was about NASA releasing the clearest view of Mars ever, and it's all just these rocks. Basically, I don't remember what I was going to comment about it. That was from Nature is Amazing is where I got that video. I don't know. It just looks fake to me. I think someone had quoted as they just refound Arizona or something.
Arizona 2 discovered on Mars.
Yeah. And then the third one was that dog that pooped out the rainbow Orbeez. So the dog, let's see. Dog is okay, it sounds like, but the dog ate Orbeez when they were dry in this GI tract. They expanded because Orbeez, when they're in liquid, they expand. And so this video of this poor little dog and all the Orbeez were coming out of its butt.
Maybe we don't have to show that.
I won't show that one, but if you want to see it, I feel bad for him, but it said he pooped out like 25% of them, and then he had to get surgery to remove the other 75. So it sounds like he's okay, but I think that's a concept.
Orbeez as a snack.
Yeah. He ate a whole dry bag of Orbeez.
Orbeez as a snack is a concept. Maybe we can leave the other end of it to the imagination.
Yeah. That is, if you want to go look at that, this one that I'm looking at is from at Colin Rugg. That's Colin with 2 L's and 2 G's at the end.
Oh, isn't that guy like a huge like conspiracy theorist Trump guy?
I don't know. It kind of looks like it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, hey. Maybe it's a conspiracy.
You're giving him that ad revenue to keep it going.
Oh no. You could probably find it somewhere else. Look somewhere else. Well, that's your fault for not vetting my tweets.
All right. Well, I have no tweets to go through. Haven't really been on Twitter this week, so we'll leave it at that. Don't have any shout-outs to give. That was a one-time thing, maybe. If you send us stuff that, it maybe isn't full submission, but it's funny, we'll give you a shout-out for it at this part of it. But we can jump right into the submissions.
Next week, left and right Twix are being combined into one continuous candy. Experts are calling this new candy Twix. That's from Bread.
What a concept.
I don't know about this one. I'm a little skeptical.
You're skeptical about, so obviously left and right are separated.
Yeah, they're different.
Like, they're pretty distinct, and there seems to be a rivalry between them, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are we seeing them get back together, like Oasis style here?
I guess
two brothers with separate identities.
Yeah.
Had a falling out.
Yeah.
Each did their own thing for a while, and now they're coming back.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. This has actually been something that I've thought about. I don't buy Twix a lot, so I can't say for sure that what I'm going to say is accurate. But, just to preface that. But I think they used this whole marketing scheme as like, oh my God, you have to choose left or right Twix as a way to con us into only selling the Twix by the single bar. Like, you're only going to buy left or you're only going to buy right. Because Twix see, again, I don't buy Twix a lot. I don't know for sure, but Twix used to be always, parallel. You get 2 Twix in one thing. They start this whole marketing advertisement. Now they're selling you less Twix, and you don't even realize because you get the fun gimmick of like, should I do left? Should I do right? No, you're just getting less. And that's my platform.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I do think recently I've really only seen Twix as like the fun size version.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know for sure if they still sell them in those doubles or if it is only left or right. But I'm glad, I guess now they're combining it and they're calling it just Twix. That's crazy.
This is making me realize I haven't really been to like a gas station or like a retail checkout line in a while. Because that's where you usually see Twix.
You probably just haven't been looking.
Probably not.
I've been, I guess. I can speak for you. I just haven't looked, I guess. Maybe I should look.
Like when they have them, like do they sell 2 right Twix at a time?
No, because I think that's what I'm saying. I feel like they just sell 1. But maybe it is still 2. Because you can't. Then that's not 2 right Twix. That's a left and a right.
We're going to have to go investigate,
see
what Twix is up to. There was a time in my life when I would call Twix my favorite candy.
Yeah.
Maybe
what is it
briefly.
Now? Snickers?
No, I think it's Kit Kats.
Oh. But also, so they're combining this into one continuous candy, is that going to be like parallel, left and right? Or like one on top, one really long one? Or morphed together?
I'm going to say they're it's saying that they're being combined into one continuous candy. So it's either going to be long ways or sideways.
Yeah.
I could see either. Either would work because they're skinny enough that you could put 2 next to each other, Kit Kat style, and make it work. Or you can do them long ways and make it like
But isn't that how they used to sell Twix?
yeah.
Two. Okay.
But like
yeah.
not connected. There were just two in there.
Oh, they weren't connected.
No.
Okay, yeah. So they could connect them.
They used to be, or they maybe still are. I don't know. Just
Mhm.
two of them in a little thing next to each other.
I like how in this submission of the news, it's experts are calling this new candy Twix. It's not like the inventors or the company. It's experts.
Experts.
Candy experts.
Those familiar with the matter are calling it Twix.
Stupid novices are calling it Bix. I
Left
don't
Twix
know.
and right Twix.
Yeah. Idiots.
When you take the directionality out of it, though, there might be some confusion involved. Like you don't know which way to open it. You don't know if you're doing it right.
That's true. That's a good point.
Like which part of the Twix is the bottom, which one's the top. We kind of lose all our bearings when it comes to it.
I mean, if that's important for you to know, if I'm eating candy, my bearings are.
I don't like it. I don't like it being taken away from me.
You had your
It
bearings.
doesn't have to be there at the start, but once it's there, you gotta leave it there.
No, I never had my bearings around candy. I'm eating candy out
Just
the door.
pure ravenousness.
Yeah.
Ravenosity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a word that should exist.
You
Ravenosity.
just made that up like 2 days ago, didn't
I'm
you?
aware, and now I have a chance to bring it up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Ravenosity.
Wow.
Measure of ravenousness.
That must be important to you if
It
you
is.
remembered.
Yeah, because when you're eating, you have varying degrees of ravenosity,
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, there should be a scale.
and it should be talked
should
about
make a
more
scale.
often.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe not as like a hunger level type thing, but how much you're attacking the food.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell he's got high ravenosity right now.
I'm not very. My ravenosity is pretty low.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about
Oh.
an imaginary scenario. I was imagining in my mind of someone who seemed really ravenous at the dinner table, and that's what I would have said about them.
I will pick that up next time.
I was using it in a sentence, at the spelling bee. Could you spell ravenosity for us?
It's Raven, Raven. Now is it Osity? Ous? Because it's ravenous, Ous. But I think we dropped the U. Make it Osity, ravenosity.
Yeah, okay.
Bing! Spelling bee. Got it right?
Should we move to the next one?
Yeah, put that in the dictionary that we talked about last week.
yeah.
All right. Sources are finding a sharp uptick in monkeying around next week. Only temporarily, though. We'll be back to our regular levels by week's end. And that's from kier.jpg.
I really thought you were going to forget to give
No, I'm on my
recognition
game
that
today.
time. Good job. Well, this is something.
Have you been seeing this? Have you been seeing this around your general area? You have two little critters who like to monkey around.
Yeah, they're always monkeying around.
I'd say it seems like
uptick.
a sharp uptick.
Yeah, been doing more. I guess I would say, yeah, they've been doing more.
I don't know if I've been monkeying around more.
I mean,
Now the urge, I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe the urge is there.
I guess I've found myself more often using my tail to jump from tree to tree, and I've been eating a lot of bananas. So I guess, yeah, I've seen this happening.
I did notice yesterday or the day before, I was sitting down, and as opposed to like standing up regularly, and maybe it's because my legs were kind of asleep, I used my arms to prop myself up.
Yeah.
And then I was just swinging there for a little bit, and then so like that's not something I'd usually do.
Yeah.
Now, does that qualify as a sharp uptick going from 0 to something?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, and the other day how we were jumping on the bed and then fell off, bumped your head, and then we got yelled at, and then we just kept going.
They did tell us not to do it anymore.
But then we just kept going, and then the other one fell off, bumped his head, we got yelled at again, kept going. So I guess you could call that monkeying around.
I'd say so. That borders on what I'd call monkeying around.
It's typical monkey behavior.
Yeah, jumping on the bed, borderline.
Especially when you got a lot of monkeys jumping on the bed.
I did have bananas. This is not even a lie. I had bananas for the first time in a while. I had a bunch of those.
You had a bunch?
I was eating 2 bananas a day because I got them at relative pre-ripeness,
oh yeah,
because you have a large green zone, the yellow little strip, and then the brown zone in the timeline of banana.
Yeah,
I got them just before the yellow zone, so they were good, not the best. They weren't like peak ripeness.
Yeah, I really don't like. I don't like it unless it's in the little yellow strip. It could be like a tiny bit right if it's just entered the browns, but
Yeah, I had so like one day 2 bananas because it was a bunch of 8, I think. 2 bananas in like the little pre-ripe zone. The next day they had started going into the yellow zone. Had 2 days of that,
oh wow,
and then I believe I had one extra day of bananas, slightly in the brown zone. So that was quite a few bananas that I.
Did you cause? Is this
Maybe.
why monkeying around is upticking?
Someone's keeping an eye on the
That guy's
on the
eating
city
a
here.
lot of
It ate
bananas.
bananas.
I mean, it's that question of cause and effect, really. Does this correlation equal causation? I can't say. Signs are pointing to yes. That sign over there says yes. It's pointing to yes. Directly, it's pointing to yes. So
I do think eating 8 bananas would cause an uptick in the monkeying around meter.
it was 8 bananas.
Yeah,
in 4
over the
days.
course of 4 days. Well, what am I going to do? I'm one guy. I was going to offer you bananas, but you weren't really around.
2 bananas a day. It's not too many.
No,
That's good,
that's a reasonable amount of bananas.
I guess.
And I'm out of bananas now, and I'm probably not going to go get more.
It's just, did you even think about the effects of what that would happen, what that would cause? You know,
Monkeying around.
falling off the bed, hitting your head.
You know, I didn't
Throwing
really think
poop at
about it. I was
people.
kind of just like, ooh, bananas, because they're tasty.
Yeah,
As someone who monkeys around would, they wouldn't be thinking about the consequences.
yeah. Well, you better be glad that by the week's end we'll return to regular levels of monkeying around until you probably get another bunch of bananas.
If you've been affected by the effects of monkeying around, of someone monkeying around,
We
I guess I
apologize.
should offer my apologies for.
We don't take responsibility,
leaving
but he's apologizing.
I
We're
forgot.
gonna say sorry, but we are not liable.
I forgot about our whole never take it back, never
Yeah, never
Admit.
apologize.
anything agreement that we have.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
not responsible.
Before I dig myself deeper into the hole, let's jump to the next one.
Next week, that one inactive member of the group chat will return next week and once again drop some crazy lore before disappearing for another couple months. And that is from Rowie Jink. I wonder if it's Joey Rink.
Probably. I should go take a look. That's a good guess. I'm trying to think of without naming names, if we can come to an agreement
Name
on,
names,
on
name
who,
names.
on who inactive group chat members are who drop crazy lore.
I wouldn't say it's me because I'm pretty active.
You're pretty active. I'd say I'm pretty active too.
Yeah.
Like fairly.
You're always editing photos and sending them.
Yeah. We kind of have our role carved out
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, I could see this though, and I look for. I mean, you know, when that crazy lore drops, like, you know, it's gonna be good. Like the fact that they're usually inactive, and then they're like, this lore is so good. This tea is piping hot. I gotta go in this group chat and drop it to everyone. You know, it's gonna be good.
I'm trying to think, like, the people. I mean, maybe we just haven't seen it yet. A week is a long time. There's still some time for it to occur.
Yeah.
There are some people who don't say much.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to keep an eye out for them.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering, in my mind, this brought to my mind Zayn from One Direction, that one inactive member of the group. He's gonna pop back in, drop some crazy lore, and then disappear again. That's just what came to my mind. That'd be wild. What do you think the lore is gonna be about? The monkeying around, maybe?
I don't know. It's always something just completely out of left field when it does occur. I think I'm in a Twitter group where we have some celebrity in there that we can't remove. Maybe he'll pop in. Who did we add? I was not involved, but someone added, and I can't go look. Use my phone to record. There's someone crazy in a Twitter group that I'm in who's never said a word. So we'll have to keep an eye out.
Huh. Yeah. And if you are that inactive member, just know you're probably gonna have some crazy lore to share. And don't be afraid to, you know, do it.
If you never say anything in your group chats, you might be in for a wild week.
Yeah, this might be you.
And let us know if it occurs. Don't keep it to yourself.
I want to hear the lore. Put us in a group chat.
Add us. You can
I
do
love
that.
a group chat.
I get added by enough spam things on like Instagram.
Mm.
You can just add anybody to a group.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that.
Add me to random things. Maybe I'll pop in.
I'm always adding people to random groups and spamming on Instagram. I can relate.
All right. A new rule going into effect next year limits the number of gimmicks a holiday can have. Christmas is being hit hard by this one, and it has to donate some of its iconography to another holiday if it wants to remain in the calendar. The current rumor is that President's Day is going to incorporate elves somehow.
Ooh.
That one's from Stratmaster J in the Discord.
So I've got a couple things. First off, one, next year. Wow, this is big. The news must come out next week about next year. And also, I would have said iconography. I would have stumbled on that. Iconography. That's what you said.
Yeah, like icon.
Is that how you say that?
Icon.
Yeah.
The graphy of icons.
Yeah, iconography.
Mm-hmm.
Iconography.
Maybe that's in the dictionary too. Is that a real word? It's a real word. There's no yellow.
Yeah.
There's no lines below it.
Yeah, no, it's a real word. I just never knew how to say it. And you did a beautiful job, if that's correct.
Why, thank you. As if it was nothing, too.
And thirdly, yes, I approve this rule.
We are top heavy on gimmicks.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. If you think about your big holidays, I'm going to say, in terms of things that have gimmicks, you have, obviously Christmas, as mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, a whole lot of gimmicks.
Oh, yeah, Thanksgiving.
4th of July, kind of.
The 4th of July.
Thanksgiving,
Yes,
the 4th of July.
Valentine's Day. You got Cupid, you got the hearts, the chocolates, the flowers. That's a lot.
I would say it really is like it's either got a ton of gimmicks or it's got none.
Yeah, pretty much. Flag Day, barely got any gimmicks. President's Day.
Arbor Day. National Donut Day. They all have elves now.
I think President's Day having elves, like, that makes sense.
I could see it.
They're just like little president elves.
We could do kind of like a rewriting of history, just like the history of elves in the presidency.
I'm sure there were a few in there.
I mean, we've had how many presidents in the U.S.?
Like 108.
Like 107? Oh.
I guessed. Was I close?
No, I think we're on like 46.
I really thought when I said that, I was like, wait, I think I'm right.
I mean, you have 46 presidents, right?
Yeah, that sounds better.
And you're telling me that 0 out of 46 have had elves, at least loosely related to their presidency somehow? Yeah, I don't think that's even possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got the vampires, we got the elves, we got the werewolves. Like, yeah, obviously they're all in there. We got 46 of them.
I'm trying to think of 46 people, a group of 46 people that doesn't have at least elves involved with one of them somehow.
Not any group that I've been a part of ever.
You know how, like, if you have, like, what is it, like 23 or something, like, people in a room, there's a good chance that any two of them, there's like a 50-50 chance they have the same birthday?
Really?
What were you saying?
Nothing.
I didn't hear it. I can go back and look, though.
I said would die of heart disease.
Probably that, too.
That's what they say.
We went in two very different directions.
I didn't know that about the birthday thing. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's not that like two people have exactly one birthday. It's that one person has exactly the same birthday as one of the other 22 people, but that would also go for any of the other, like, it sounds like wild, because if you're thinking like for yourself, there's 22 other people, like, you're probably not gonna have the same birthday. But for 22,
I could.
You could, if you do the same thing 22
there's a 50%
times
chance I do.
People, there's a chance that you're involved. I don't know about a 50% chance.
Good point.
But
I get it.
Tying that back to, I was just gonna say
St. Patrick's Day.
I was gonna say St. Patrick's Day.
I was
gonna say that quick and just like be like, I think it's the same thing with the presidents and elves, and then just leave it at that. But we got way too deep into it.
Typical.
Mm-hmm.
Easter's got a lot of gimmicks.
Oh yeah, elves.
Is when you lose a tooth, is that considered a holiday?
I don't think so.
I wonder if we count birthdays here.
Unless
too.
you've taken off work for it.
Birthdays don't have too many gimmicks, though.
No.
You just got the candles and cake.
Cake, candles,
Maybe a hat.
presents, hat.
I guess you got some there.
Slaps.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really a holiday because it's, everyone's kind of got their own.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll see elves somehow.
Yeah.
Why do we just have the elves do stuff for one time a year? I feel like they could be a bit more useful. They're willing to work.
They're making the presents all year long. You think they can just do other stuff and then just make the presents in like a month? Like, no, they have to work all year long. I mean, they get like that week off, but
I guess you're right. But
what
like,
question was that? My goodness.
I'll leave it at that. I've
getting heated here.
No rebuttal.
Yeah, you don't. Drop the mic.
Knock it off the thing.
I'm gonna unscrew the mic so I could drop it.
Unplug it first so it doesn't get tangled.
No. Next week, all ice cream stores will raise prices to $10 per scoop. That is from Lethal Goon in the Discord. It looks like this is distressing you right now.
Distressing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go broke. This is it. This is kind of it for me.
Is that why?
Well, if you think of, like elastic versus inelastic demand, where like there's certain things that are, as the price increases, people will buy less of them.
Yeah.
At like different rates.
And this is not where that counts.
No, this is I think it's inelastic, where I'm buying ice cream no matter what. It's a vertical line. Like I am buying the same amount of ice cream whether it's $1 a scoop or $10 or $100 a scoop.
Pretty much.
And it's kind of up to them whether they want to screw me over or not. And it seems like they've taken me up on that.
Yeah. I mean, when you're gonna buy ice cream no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna?
There's really no choice.
Cookies?
No.
I'm not gonna have cookies every evening.
No.
That's goodness. I'm gonna
cookies with ice cream on it, maybe.
Maybe.
But you're still
cookie dough ice cream. That's a.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have cookies every day, I'm gonna.
$10 a scoop, and you get multiple scoops.
Oh yeah, it's like 5 scoops.
Yeah.
Of all different flavors too.
So let's break this down. Where did this raised price come from? Are cows more expensive? Is milk more expensive? Did they raise rent?
I'm thinking that just scoops.
Scoops more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like the spoon?
The process of taking the spoon and dipping it into the ice cream and taking out a spherical chunk of it.
Oh, they've started charging that.
Yeah, has become quite... Like, I think there's a new tax on it or something like that.
Yeah, the scoop tax.
Scoop tax.
Okay, that adds up.
Scoop tax. Unbelievable. What is the government doing? A scoop tax? What's next? The waffle cone tax?
Yeah, they did that last year.
I mean, I forgot about that. At least, like marshmallow fudge, or not fudge, marshmallow sauce and chocolate fudge are not taxed, but they're like $1 extra each.
Hate to tell you, I ran into a lobbyist for the other day. They were passing out pamphlets.
They're trying to tax the fudge, a fudge tax?
Hot fudge tax. They're trying to get that passed.
What's next? A sprinkle tax? Are they going to tax me on sprinkles per sprinkle? They're going to tax me every single sprinkle I put on the ice cream?
I don't know. I can't promise anything.
What's
sprinkle
next?
Tax has a good ring to it, I will say.
What's next? A dip tax? If I want my cone dipped?
They do tax for that.
They tax for that?
Well, they add.
Oh, they do tax for that.
That sounds delicious. We gotta go to Dairy
next?
Queen.
A cherry on top tax? They're charging me money to put a cherry on top of my ice cream.
They actually have to pay you to put the cherry on top because nobody wants the cherry on top. So they actually will give you 50 cents in order to let them put the cherry on top.
A cherry.
They got too many cherries backlogged. And they just taken up too much fridge space, so they need more room for the scoops. Less cherries, so they're paying us to take the cherries.
What's that? A cherry incentive? They better increase the cherry incentive.
Yeah, they're trying to balance it out, but charging $10 a scoop, you raise the scoop tax, you can't balance that out with cherries. You got to give us something else. Nobody likes the cherries. I mean, some people like the cherries, but
maybe a pistachio incentive. Everybody hates on pistachio ice cream.
Oh,
I think
Sorry, I did that. I feel like I've had it.
It's
I feel
good.
Like it's yeah, it's good.
I was a pistachio hater for no
I
reason
thought you
until I
meant the
had it.
nuts. I was like, why would you put pistachio?
The pistachio
nuts
ice
on
cream. It's one of those things. If you're a pistachio ice cream hater, if that's something that doesn't sound good to you,
I think you got to try it.
I challenge you to, if they're charging less than $10 a scoop, I challenge you to try it. It's one of those combos of like saltiness and sweetness that works really well. And you wouldn't think it would until you have it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they'll still, because free samples, like the little tiny spoon samples. I hope that's still free. I hope that's still a thing.
I don't know. It depends on whether they technically call that a scoop or not.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not shaped like the ice cream scooper.
Maybe they have to really carefully just get you like a little wedge.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
What about the places that do like, what is it? I think it's nitrogen. The nitrogen ice creams.
Yeah, liquid nitrogen stuff.
Yeah, where they like make it like that. So do they technically have to scoop that? I feel like they scrape it.
They do kind of scrape it. It's like little pebbles. Although they do they take a scoop and put? I've never actually gotten it that way.
It's been a while. I don't know. We should do that. Would you consider switching to gelato if there is no gelato scoop tax in order to save your bank account? Would you consider this switch?
This is like just difficult.
It's like asking Charlie Brown if he would give away Snoopy and just get a different dog.
Pretty much. I don't know if I could do it.
Gelato's kind of delicious, though.
Cut the episode. We're done here. This is the Patreon one. We're a half hour in. This is the Patreon one. Switch it. Give me a break. I'm going to go to the other one.
For such a short prompt, we really got into this one.
What's next? The tax on them handing
tears?
it to me upside down? Am I gonna have to like take over here and like cheat and like knock it off so they have to give it to me for free, and then eat the?
They only do that with
the dropped
blizzards.
ice cream. But you have to convince them to do it. Otherwise, no. In order to save money, probably.
I'm totally following.
It makes sense to me.
Yep.
And that's what matters.
That's all that matters.
To me.
Oh, God.
Oh, this one was interesting. It's The Fog is Coming. Now, this is something that we've seen.
Oh, yeah, we've seen this.
A time or two before. From at bench.removed specific.
And I clearly remember this happening before because we had a whole, the way you said fog again.
The Fog.
Yeah,
I must interject and say this was submitted twice. 2 separate times by the same person. So I'm not sure if that was accidental, but I feel like it's kind of poetic.
The fog is coming.
The fog is coming.
Once again.
And now I'm really accentuating the Bostonianness of the way that I say fog.
Guess who's back? Fog is back again.
They get me with the one word. Like this is one of the things that people like, the fog is coming. It's a very cryptic thing to say. Works well with next week. Coming. And it's like the one word, I guess bog is another one.
Log.
I don't do it like a log.
Basically, that's what I hear.
No. That's insensitive for me to say it that way if you're not from there.
Okay. Well, what's in the fog? What is the fog bringing?
Kind of a density that we don't often experience to the generality of the area.
A little bit of like impairing your vision.
Yeah, some grayness. Some ominosity.
Oh, you know what? We should shoot our music video if the fog is coming.
Oh yeah.
That would be really cool. Like then we won't need to keep trying to find the smoke machine, or I mean, we've mostly just been like kind of setting like little fires around and then using the smoke from that. But if the fog is coming, we should just do it when the fog is here.
True.
So we can get that like smoky effect and like walking out of it.
We do keep getting those pathetic little smoke machines that they scam us with online. Like you can cover your feet in smoke, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, we need whole.
Yeah, we need a lot
whole body
for the vision that I have for this thing.
Next week rock is what it's called. It's a whole album actually. One of the titles is actually The Fog is Coming. So
It has the aura of a misty wood,
mm-hmm.
of a fall/spring day in a redwood forest,
Mm-hmm.
but it's rock.
Mm-hmm. And it's in the middle of the city.
Mm-hmm.
The redwoods are actually skyscraper
And
buildings.
there's fish flying around everywhere. It's like the ocean, kind of.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Mm-hmm. And there's like volcanoes and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But the fog is important to the vision.
Yep.
So we welcome it. We always welcome the fog here.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing that we do. We welcome the fog. It's welcome. It can come if it wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're never going to say no.
But we hope it doesn't overstay its welcome, because there is a limit to how much we want.
Yeah, and we hope it doesn't have any effect on increasing the scoop tax even more. We couldn't handle that.
Let's not think about that anymore.
Yeah, moving on. iPhones will now spontaneously combust if you send more than 10 messages in a group chat before anyone responds. And that is from EIEA_real.
EIEAA_real.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think this is what Apple Intelligence does.
Oh.
Like, you know how they've been saying that that's been a thing that they're going to be making for a while?
No. AI?
Apple Intelligence?
AI?
Yeah. But it's Apple.
AI, Apple Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
They're making apples smart?
In a way.
Apples are already smart. That's what you give to your teachers. Okay, sorry. Continue. Continue.
But like, that's the feature that they've been hyping up for a while.
Okay.
And that's kind of just what it does. It makes your phone explode.
Mm-hmm.
But it uses machine learning to do that. It knows when to.
Yeah.
So 10 messages in a row, phone
More than
gone.
10. Yes.
More
You
than
can
10,
send
okay.
10, just don't go to 11. And I mean, honestly, yeah, that. Yikes.
I did also
If it
see,
comes to
so
that.
there's a couple ways that you can send a lot of info at once. You can break it down into individual messages, which is something you clearly no longer want to do. It's a danger to your hands. But
Yeah.
I've also seen that they've got another new feature where if you like paragraph it, like if you send like a huge block of text to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
it will auto respond on their phone with just like bummer or like ooh or something like that. It knows that that's like not something that you want to read and go through.
Oh, okay. If your message
So
is too
it
long,
responds to it
okay.
for you.
Okay.
In a way that in like a short message to like
Yeah.
balance out how long.
Well, that's
the
kind of
messages
nice, I guess, as if you're someone who's receiving that long message. If you're someone who's sending that long message, it's maybe a little disappointing if they didn't
Well,
read
you're
it.
getting a response back right away.
But like, what if it's like an argument? Like usually, if you're sending long messages, it might be an argument. Like, ooh, bummer.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Hey, I think you need to communicate a little better. Ooh, bummer.
No, that one's more of like a ooh.
So
That's
it,
an ooh response.
so it reads a little bit into the context.
Oh,
instead
it
of-
knows. It's smart. It's
okay.
machine learning.
It's
Smart. It knows
intelligent.
what to
Okay,
do. Yeah.
instead of bummer, maybe then it would say ooh.
It would respond bummer if it was a bummer.
Yeah, or maybe
It responds ooh if it's an ooh, or
Yeah.
like a that's crazy maybe.
Yeah, is there like a yikes?
There's a yikes for sure.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just the classic haha. I think a haha needs to be in
Oh,
there,
yeah.
or LOL,
Okay.
or laughing, or it needs to just automatically be able to react. I don't know. It should do just. We shouldn't have to text at all.
It should just give it like a thumbs up response. I think
Uh-huh.
like a thumbs up react.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that this new feature is coming. It
Yeah.
kind of makes your life easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, of like it blowing up if you have more than 11 messages in group chat, because it
Mm-hmm.
keeps you from embarrassing yourself in that way.
Yeah. Because otherwise, if you still had your phone, if it was unexploded, you'd be able to send more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we know who this won't be a problem for. Well, it could be the people who are inactive members of the group chat and only chime in when they have good lore.
No, they're fine. Their phones are going to be mostly unexploded, I would think.
I was gonna say unless, so they're pretty inactive in the group chat. They don't They don't participate a lot. They come in with some crazy lore. What if they split it up into many parts because it's so much lore and they maybe don't really know the etiquette? They
Oh
don't
my
really know that
goodness.
maybe they need to send a voice memo, or maybe they need to just kind of shorten it, send it all in a few bit chunks. they're sending it in 10, 11 messages, 11, 12 messages, phone's going to combust. So they could be at risk. Like the every few months they get that lore.
That's a good point, though, that voice memos are probably the way to go.
Yeah.
I think that helps you
this.
avoid both of those situations.
Yeah.
If you don't want your phone to be smart and respond for you.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
All rubber ducks will be given hats.
Love that.
And that was an anonymous submission. I think this is extremely important.
Oh, this is so important. I've been trying to get this passed for a while.
When you see a rubber duck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a plain old rubber duck,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what it is. You don't know what it does.
Boo.
You don't know its personality. It's not a boo. It's not a boo. It's like a tell me more.
Tell me more.
Because, like, sometimes you see a fun rubber duck and it's got like a sailor hat on. You're like, that duck's a boat captain.
Sunglasses. And
or sunglasses,
it's cool.
that duck's cool. It's a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fire hat, that duck's a fireman.
Mm-hmm.
But you see a regular old rubber duck and it could be a fireman. It could be a boat captain or
be a firewoman.
A firewoman.
Fire person.
True. It could be what other? It could have a suit with a little top hat.
Could be a nurse or a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Like, you never know.
Could be a blues brother.
Could be a blues brother. You never know what a duck is when it doesn't
Could be a baseball player or
could be a baseball player.
A casual person.
Sometimes they have them for like little like team things. Like that duck could be on the Royals or the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm. Could be a cowboy.
Could be a cowboy.
Could be a cow girl.
But without the hats, you never know. A hat is a good identifying feature, especially like a duck doesn't necessarily have to have the full outfit on. But to give it a hat tells you more about what that duck is and what it wants and what it does. Because like you have a plain old rubber duck and you don't really get to know it.
Yeah. I was going to say that I like this because I think it's cute. I think a rubber duck in a hat is cute, and that's why I like this update. But you had some more, more to your argument for
the cuteness
intro.
is a given, and that's certainly an important part of it.
Yeah.
But it also gives you some functional aspect to it as well.
Yeah, and it makes when you're playing with the rubber ducks, it adds a layer of complexity because they have their jobs, their roles. So then it's like, oh, I've got a cowboy and I've got like a nurse here. What's their story? How do they know each other? And so it adds a little more background, a little more complexity when you're playing with the rubber ducks.
It just crossed my mind that the fire, because I've seen like a fire person rubber duck, but they're always floating in the water. What kind of duck has to worry about putting out fires? I feel like they've been sneaking by us for a while. Like, what do they do?
Water can catch fire. They can float in oil.
I guess. Do they float in oil?
I bet they would float in oil. We should test it.
I gotta go find one of those YouTube videos where they just put stuff in other stuff and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, because they, how they can like, they got the little hole at the bottom so they can suck up the water and then you can spray the water out the bottom hole. They use the water. They're in the water, so they have direct, quick access to the water and then put out fires outside of the tub.
Okay.
Or outside of the water. So they have to stay in the water. They got to float in the water so that they can quickly out the fire.
That's good to know.
Lizards.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. My questioning of the fireman rubber ducks is gone now.
Good.
Solved.
Don't question them. Moving on. Be careful around Gravity as it is having some gastric issues. This week, Gravity made some questionable food-related decisions and is acting pretty unpredictable. Just be careful when in or around Gravity. And that is from markpole.pdf. That's funny, .pdf.
This one's tough. There's some rumblings, I guess is the way to put it, in terms of the feeling that you get in and around Gravity.
And we are generally always in and around Gravity.
Not necessarily. It's kind of a choice that we
Tell me more.
Make most of the time.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we don't necessarily have to be where we are here. We can be in areas where we aren't necessarily subjected to the forces of gravity very strongly.
Space, like a water?
I mean, there's some force there, but not nearly as strong as what we'd have here. Like, we don't have to
Like if you're way up high in a mountain?
Yeah, or
in one of those anti-gravity chambers?
There's a lot of universe that we're not always in. The universe is mostly nothing.
So you're talking space and universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I could go space.
We tend
I've
to
been.
occupy. Been there, boring. We tend to occupy the same space within space all the time, all of us. But there's so much other space that we could be in. It's tough to say that gravity is a universal thing
Okay.
that we're always
It's
experiencing.
not universal. I know it's not in the universe. But
Well-
with the price of the scoop tax going up, how do you expect me to pay to get out of the Earth gravity?
Rockets.
And how do you expect me to pay for the rocket? And when you're eating so many scoops of ice cream,
Not my problem.
it sounds like it's exactly
Unrelated.
your problem.
Well, it doesn't necessarily say that we should avoid gravity. It just says be careful when in or around it. And we find ourselves living our lives in and around gravity
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
I'll just wear my marshmallow suit. I
Mhm.
think that is a good kind of precaution to protect my body no matter what gravity does.
You
I'll
could
be okay.
roll around in your big blow up ball,
Mm-hmm.
those things that they have.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind floating around in that.
Because even if gravity hits you while you're in that, like you have a bubble around you,
Yeah.
you're kind of fine.
Yeah. So just be careful, kind of take in those precautions. And I think this is fine.
Maybe I'll catch a ripple and be able to dunk if I keep trying. Catch like a little because it kind of goes in waves now. So if you catch like an upswing on the wave, whoa, you're up there, and then you get to dunk.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want gravity to kind of start being a little bit more conscious about what kind of food it's eating though. I'm not one to judge. I'm not one to tell people what they need to eat. But gravity, this has some pretty big repercussions. I think we need to have a more standard diet.
I do appreciate that this was not even a thought of the discussion when questioning my 5 scoops of ice cream every day.
No, because I would never judge that. But gravity, I mean, I don't know. This affects us all.
I guess I'm not as universally important. I'm not as omnipresent.
Mm-mm.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, and you're always pretty unpredictable. And gravity,
yeah.
this is kind of just like a recent thing.
You never know what's coming next. If I were gravity, I don't think I could handle that.
The pressure.
Yeah, the pressure, the forces, the
pressure. That's funny because gravity's pressure on us. We were putting too much pressure on gravity, so it stopped
off-camera fist bump.
Stop putting pressure on us. Oh my God, is it mad at us? Is that why it had the questionable food? That's why it had the...
It was stress eating.
The 3-bean burrito from Taco Bell dipped in the...
I think it's the 5-layer.
The 5-layer
Not
cheesy bean burrito with the ice cream on top. 10 of them.
That seems like a reasonable, like a small morsel for gravity to eat. Gravity's big. Gravity's huge.
I said 10,000 of them.
Now that's a lot. That's more reasonable for gravity.
At each Taco Bell. And then they went to the Pizza Hut.
Could gravity eating all that mean that they just every single Taco Bell happened to just drop a beefy 5-layer burrito at the same time?
Yes.
Good. We shall move on. Just needed your approval. All right. This coming week, all missing socks will randomly appear within the time frame of possibly to maybe. What this means for you, we're not quite sure, but we know this might be good. Unless you've lost that one sock that everyone hates. Sucks to be you, buddy. And that's from XOXO_Jenny.
I thought the last line was a pun because I thought it said socks to me, you. But it didn't. It said socks.
Mary has a slight edit for you to make. I'm glad to get my socks back. There's a pile of socks on my dresser, which is they're lonely now.
I've had a few disappear recently, so knowing they'll come back in possibly to maybe, that's a little reassuring. At least I know there's some kind of timeline.
I guess if you keep doing your laundry, kind of in the same way that a sock kind of randomly disappears
Mm-hmm.
in the time frame of like most definitely to for sure,
Mm-hmm.
you will lose your socks.
Yeah.
Getting them back in the possibly to maybe, I mean, it'll be a bit slower for sure.
Yeah.
Slower of the reversal of the process, but
Mm-hmm. That's to be expected.
I'm glad that it's kind of turning around now. We're getting them back.
Yeah. And it might be good. But that one sock that everyone hates.
I do think there's one sock that I used like to play sports in on muddy fields that's now alone.
Just one?
Well, the other one is gone.
Oh.
And it's a sock I don't really want back. I should just toss the other one.
Huh. Yeah.
But I won't, because it's like a widow waiting for its sailor to come back home. And even if they're kind of raggedy and disheveled,
Mm-hmm.
they deserve love.
Yeah. In my mind, I've got a sock. I feel like it could have been one of the ones that I lost recently. It must be, but the sock that everyone hates. So it looks good on the outside, and I think it's a little too cocky, a little too confident about how it looks, because it's a white ankle sock, classic. Like, I'm gonna reach for that, and so it's a little bit vain. It's got a big head, but it's a little too loose around the ankle, and it'll fall down and it'll leave the ankles exposed. Everyone hates that. Can I curse on here? Everyone hates that little guy. Because yeah, he's all confident. He acts like he's all that, and then he just falls right down, and he doesn't do his job. Everyone hates him. Socks to be you, buddy. Stay lost. We don't want you back.
It really thinks it's all that, and then when it comes time to do its purpose,
It doesn't perform.
Unbelievable.
Below par. Wait. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Below par performance by you, sock.
Subpar, maybe.
Yeah.
You have a particular sock that everyone hates. Mine's kind of just old. I could use some new socks.
Well, yeah, it's probably like that because it's old. Oh, wait. Are we just criticizing the elderly? It's not their fault.
Did that sock ever perform well, or was it like out the package? It was falling off.
I don't remember. I think I stole it from my sister.
So you don't know what it's been through.
I don't know its story.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Oh no.
Unbelievable.
And it got it all on video. Can we cut that part out? What if he hears?
Drama next week. Mary's drawer. Mary's lost the drawer like a coach loses the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of your socks are gonna start just like they're gonna start being all droopy and what's the word
Inelastic.
That they're doing the same thing as the other one because they feel bad.
Oh yeah.
Blanking on the word.
I don't know.
Wow, it's a regular word too. This happens like once per week.
Yeah, that's been happening to me a lot lately.
But it's one of those words that's hard to describe without the word.
Standing in solidarity with the sock.
Yeah, that's it. Solidarity. Perfect.
Wow,
We got
I
it.
thought about that.
Wow, that one should have come back to me, but it didn't. Glad you're here.
Aw, thank you. This just in, girlfriends are getting super sick again. Perhaps that's the lack of nutrition or water, but they sure are dying. Prepare for weeks of your girlfriend constantly FaceTiming you, asking you to do things for her when you clearly aren't nearby, and crying. Listen to her as she tells you how much her head hurts, but refuse to drink water when you ask her. This is based off a true story from this person at analaya.diary. Or analaya.diary. Wow.
Poor girlfriends.
Poor,
And it's
poor
not their fault
girlfriend.
in any way.
It doesn't sound like it's their fault. What do you want from them?
What are they supposed to do? Like, drink water and eat food?
Yeah. And know that you're not nearby?
Why are you not nearby?
Yeah.
For what reason would you need to not be nearby?
And also, if you're not nearby, go nearby. Get nearby.
Exactly.
What else are you doing? Besides being bossy and telling her to drink water.
This is implying that there's something more important than being nearby.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I'm on the side of the girlfriends here.
I kind of am too.
At the beginning of when I was reading this news prompt, I didn't know. I was like, girlfriend's getting super sick again. I didn't know if it was like sick, like sick, or like, ooh, they're cool sick. It was cough, cough sick.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way we can spin that to the other one.
So, yeah, I guess they're advising you here. Just listen. Drink my water.
All better now?
No, actually. No. I did tell
Didn't
you
help at
today
all?
that I needed the bean bugler. If you know from the next week, we're getting the bean bugler from the regular news story.
New guy added
Yeah.
to the lore.
Who he'll stop you from drinking too much caffeine. I do not have a bean bugler yet, so I drank too much coffee today instead of water.
And that makes you feel pretty jittery.
Yeah,
Or your
I
head
can
hurts, maybe?
I can feel it in my head a little bit. Yeah,
Head spinning.
yeah. Which this usually, typically for me as a girlfriend, this usually isn't a problem in terms of drinking water.
No,
it
I was
has.
gonna say-
It happens occasionally, but I drink a lot of water.
I was going to say, it's like every 5 minutes, got to have a sip of water.
Yeah. It's more like me, complaining about like having to pee all the time or like refusing to
Snack dinner.
not drink water.
Can never not drink water.
Yeah, I was like,
now,
listen.
snack dinners are for sure a thing.
Oh yeah,
A recurring thing.
Yeah.
Like some crackers and I don't even know what else. Like a granola bar,
Yeah, cheese.
just pieces of cheese.
It's like complaining about like
Mouse
how
dinners.
hungry I am. You're like, well, just eat. Like, no, I ate. I don't want to eat. I'm hungry. I don't want to eat. What are you talking about? What kind of suggestion is that?
Being hungry and being mad about it, like you didn't deserve to be hungry.
Yeah.
That's kind of the
Hangry.
conclusion
There's
of
a
it.
word for that. There's a reason there's
Well,
a word for it.
hangry is when you're,
Hungry and angry.
but like you're angry because you're hungry and not because you don't want to be hungry. Maybe I guess you don't want to be hungry, but
You can be angry
you
for
can
whatever reason you
suck.
want.
Okay.
It's just when you're feeling both hungry and angry at the same time.
I will concede I am not the hangry expert
I'm
in our
very
duo.
very familiar with hanger.
I think we got time for one more here.
Yeah.
Doing a southern accent when quoting Forrest Gump is now a hate crime. And that's from Anonymous.
Wow. He has a southern accent?
You know the Forrest Gump accent?
Yeah.
So doing that, no longer allowed. Which is a shame, because people who are good at that are good at that.
I mean, it's allowed. It's just a hate crime. So
I mean, you could...
we don't support doing hate crimes. I'm just saying.
It's physically possible to do, yes.
Yeah, but you shouldn't because you could get arrested and charged.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where this came from.
Maybe the people who are good at it are just too good at it.
Yeah.
Too convincing.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a good Forrest Gump. I've tried. I'm not going to try anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
But when I try Forrest
canceled.
Gump, it turns into like British, which isn't right. That's like a glitch that I have. Whenever I try accents, it turns into bad British.
Mine just turns into speaking weirdly in my normal accent. In my normal voice.
Just like going up and down with the regular voice.
Yeah. I've never even tried Forrest Gump.
It ranges between like elderly British person and like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Now I want to do it so bad, but I can't.
Do you have a good Forrest Gump?
I want to do the box of chocolates one. I can't.
Can we give her like 5 to 10 seconds of Forrest Gump amnesty?
Life is like box of chocolates. See, I can't do it.
Wait a minute, keep going. It's not Forrest Gump, but it's something else.
Father, I don't. Life is like. I can't do it.
I don't know.
And now
what
I
it
just
is.
did. Now I just accidentally did a hate crime for
No, we gave you
reason.
We gave you Forrest Gump amnesty. I'm not sure if I'm the one who decides, but I did.
Well, Anonymous here. Anonymous could decide, I guess, but we don't know who they are.
If we start getting called out by
Yeah.
somebody, we'll know who it is.
Yeah.
I'll give you 5 to 10 seconds of shrimp from Shark Tale, which I don't do often.
I'm just trying to feed my family and my sister. She's got 5
All right, time's up.
The little guy's eyes.
Time's up.
It was not my best. You put me on the spot there. Usually it comes to me in like whoosh,
I'll
like
give
a
you.
vision.
I'll give you 5 to 10 more seconds of Marcel the Shell. Just going through the list
I
of.
don't know what I use as a hairbrush. A piece of lint. That was not my best. I come up with some good Marcel the Shells.
She'll go for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, don't get me hooked on either of those.
Which is why I had to give her 5 to 10 seconds, and that's it.
I don't know.
All right, that's probably where we're gonna end it today. I set Mary free to do her favorite thing for just a brief second.
Yeah. Maybe when your girlfriend is feeling sick, give her permission to do.
Give her permission to
do
be
her little voices.
They are both kind of the same type of little voice.
They're
There is
pretty
something about the
similar.
little voice that does it for girlfriends for sure.
Yeah. Tell her she can be Marcel the Shell. She can be the shrimp from Shark Tales when she's sick, and that'll heal her or hangry. Or she'll just then want a shrimp to eat. Or not.
All right. Well, we are very excited for what we're about to do on Patreon.
So pumped.
We've been editing and writing our stuff all day. So we'll be on there doing that for another half hour.
Yourself.
I am speaking for myself. That's all I can do.
You said we.
Oh. I am very excited about this. Are you not excited?
No, I'm excited. I haven't been working on it all day.
No.
For a couple hours.
That's kind of what I meant by
Or an
all day.
hour.
I had to exaggerate slightly.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll be on Patreon for another half hour if you want to come join us. Or I think this is going to be a good one. Could be a good time to use your 7-day free trial.
Yeah.
So
If you're an author, you steal our ideas. Just let us know because I want to read it afterwards.
let us know if you want to turn one of our books into a real thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see you there, or we'll see you next week. You don't have to join. We can't make you. But we'll see you sometime soon. Thanks for listening.
Bye.